Hi, I'm Theo, and in this series we will be focusing on the 6 principles of service excellence. So over the next 6 videos, I will share how world-class organizations are able to create and sustain a culture of service excellence. Now, for those of you that know me, you know that my professional background was with the Ritz-Carlton Hotel Company, where I spent 17 years. But after leaving the Ritz-Carlton, I dedicated time to benchmarking and researching other world-class organizations. And what I found was that they had 6 things in common, thus the 6 principles of service excellence, which, by the way, include Principle 1, vision and mission, Principle 2, business objectives, 3, service standards, Principle 4, intervention and learning strategy, Principle 5, organizational alignment, and 6, measurement and leadership accountability. So let's go ahead and get started with the first video, which focuses on vision and mission and its importance in driving world-class service. Does your team know how their job contributes to the mission and vision of your organization? Well, if the answer is no, allow me to shed light. Let's start with Principle 1 of the 6 principles of service excellence, which is vision and mission. Now, a vision statement should communicate for employees what we aspire to be in the future, let's say in 5, 10, or 15 years. It should say what our desired state is as an organization. On the other hand, a mission statement should clarify who we are, what's our purpose, or maybe even better, how we intend to achieve the vision of the organization. So if you think about a vision and mission on a scale of 1 to 5 with 5 high, how would you rate the effectiveness of your vision statement and mission statement? And if you think it's a 3 or less, what I recommend that you do is read Chapter 3 of my book, The 6 Principles of Service Excellence, because it provides a lot more detail and it will definitely set you on the road to determining what you need to start doing, stop doing, or continue doing in order to drive world-class service and to create and sustain a culture of service excellence. Does your team know what the key priorities of your organization are? Well, if not, allow me to explain just how important that is and why it's important. And I'll do so by focusing on Principle 2, business objectives. You see, business objectives that drive world-class service and excellence should focus on customer loyalty, employee engagement, productivity, quality improvement, and of course, profitability. And here are a couple of other tips about business objectives. They should be SMART, which means they need to be specific, measurable, attainable, results-oriented, and timely. And you should have no more than 3 to 5 business objectives just so that you don't confuse employees. And the last and most important thing is that everyone within the organization needs to know what those key priorities or business objectives are and how they relate to their job. So now on a scale of 1 to 5 with 5 high, how would you rate the business objectives of your organization, especially as it relates to driving world-class service? Well, if you rated a 3 or lower, what I recommend is that you go back to Chapter 4 of the book, The 6 Principles of Service Excellence, because there's a lot of great content around that, and it will also set you on the map or on the roadmap to what you need to start doing, stop doing, or continue doing in order to raise the bar and elevate the customer experience from average to extraordinary. Does your team know what type of actions and behaviors are necessary to drive world-class service? Well, if not, allow me to explain by focusing on Principle 3, service standards. You see, service standards are something that every single organization must have. And what are they? They're 10 to 15 simple, short standards of excellence that help to clarify our actions and behaviors or how we should interact with every customer. They can include how we greet the customer, how we resolve their issues, and most of all, really, they should be around what will set us aside from our competition. So on a scale of 1 to 5 with 5 high, how would you rate the standards of excellence or the service standards of your organization? And if you rate them a 3 or lower, what I recommend is that you revisit Chapter 5 of my book, The 6 Principles of Service Excellence. Why? Because there are a lot of great dynamic examples of service standards, and what it will help you do is set you on the right road to creating and sustaining a culture of service excellence. What barriers might be preventing your organization or team from being able to drive world-class service and create and sustain that culture of service excellence? Well, Principle 4, intervention and learning strategy, is a great way to find out. You see, barriers are often ineffective processes that are within the workplace. Things like not properly hiring the right people for the job, not properly onboarding them through new employee orientation, not properly having them go through job-specific training. It could even be having an ineffective problem resolution process, or maybe if you look at your service excellence training, it may also be ineffective. What Principle 4 helps you do is set the tone for a gap analysis to pinpoint specifically where the barriers are, and then to implement processes that will help you close those gaps. It will also help you implement a dynamic action plan that will help you on your way to creating and sustaining a culture of service excellence. So with all of that in mind, on a scale of 1 to 5 with 5 high, how would you rate the ability of your organization or the ability of your team to identify where the gaps are through a gap analysis, and then to close the gaps and those barriers by having the right systems and processes in place? Well, if you rate a 3 or lower, what I would recommend is that you, again, reflect on Chapter 6 of the 6 Principles of Service Excellence. And why? Because there are a lot of great gap analysis questions that will help you, and also great examples of how you can put together your service excellence action plan. And all of this will help you to create and sustain a culture of service excellence. Does your organization or team have an effective way for keeping everyone aligned with how we drive excellence? Well, if not, Principle 5, organizational alignment, is a great way to get started. You see, organizational alignment is about using every aspect and every communication resource within your company to make sure that you consistently remind employees of how we create and sustain a culture of excellence. And that could be through your internal employee communication systems. It could be through emails, text messaging. But as you know, the most effective way to align the organization is through daily team huddles. And again, daily team huddles are those pre-shift meetings that last maybe about 5 or 10 minutes, where you talk about the business of the day with your team, you talk about the standard of the day, and then maybe you even recognize the employees. So on a scale of 1 to 5 with 5 high, how would you rate the effectiveness of your organization when it comes to keeping everyone aligned with how we drive excellence? Well, if you rate them a 3, what I would recommend is that you look at Chapter 7 of the book, because it has a lot of great resources that I'm sure you could use. Remember, you have to repeat something at least 21 times in order to form a habit, and Principle 5, organizational alignment, is a great way to do that. How will you know that your service excellence initiative has been a success? Well, Principle 6, measurement and leadership accountability, is a great way to determine success. You see, it's about putting together a dashboard or a service excellence scoreboard to visually show employees what our end goal is and where we are today. It's also a great way to hold leaders accountable for driving excellence. So on a scale of 1 to 5 with 5 high, how would you rate the effectiveness of your organization in making sure that you properly measure what we're doing to drive excellence? Well, if you rated a 3 or less, what I recommend is that you look at Chapter 8 of the book, because it's got a lot of really great resources and tools that you can implement right away. So there you have it, the 6 Principles of Service Excellence. And as we begin to close out, I'd like to remind you that if you want to bring this program to your organization, just contact us today, and it would be our pleasure to assist you.